It was off the whole time. Welcome to part 2, everybody. Take 2. Let's give it a shot. Mics were off. How does the feed look?
Fine.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Anyway, take 2. Apologies for that. If you want to catch the first 3-4 minutes, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Anyway, we have a fantastic guest today, nutritionist and fitness expert Rebecca Hebert joins us. She'll be calling in soon. What time did you tell her to call?
I told her. I sent you sent the link. I just said it would be 10:40, 10:45. Is that when she joins
she clicks?
In?
She has to
right.
click. I can't go get her. Like she has to.
I don't know why I said that. Okay.
I told her initially 10:35, but maybe say. It's, by the way, she's in Atlantic Canada, so it'd be 11.
Yes, I changed the time.
50 maybe.
I said 11:40, 11:45.
Okay,
So
well,
I'll say 11:45.
To click on the link, yes, I'll let her in. Anyway, wow. Again, there's nothing more frustrating than technical issues when you're doing everything you think. Anyway, very excited to chat with her. Welcome, everybody. This is take 2 of episode 484. I don't learn my lesson. I tweaked a setting before the show, because it's still like right now, this is the best that we get as far as feed quality goes, and it's still like it'll drop frames from time to time. So being greedy, I went in the preferences and changed. Okay, every time. I gotta get my life together. I need help on the podcast, I think. It's a lot for the first, like when I go on...
Well, maybe
It's really too much work, like for one person. I feel I don't know to like share it and do everything, and it's like I'm shaking when I start.
Maybe you should delegate to me.
I know, but you would need this computer somehow. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't help if you're then somewhere else doing all these things. Should
you bother, like sharing it?
Well, especially when we have guests, we want I don't know. Some people, I'm done with doing it live.
Maybe you can
no
just
more.
Share it later. Anyway,
no more.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
No, let's talk about it now. What does it matter?
Yeah.
I think no more live. We'll record them and then release the videos, and screw it. I mean, it's just there's too many elements that come into that make it unpredictable. Anyway, what were we going to talk about today? Oh, I said something about my dad already. Again, if you missed it, subscribe on Apple Podcast. And by the way, while you're there, and you all have the app, if you have an iPhone, that purple podcast app, just leave a review. Search The Julien Dionne Show with Jen Grant. 2 brand new episodes weekly, Mondays and Wednesdays. By the way, reminding you also, I'm all over the place, the after show with available exclusively on patreon.com/JDShowPod. The Julien Dionne After Show with Jen Grant. It's a whole other show. We do anywhere from 15 to, 40 minutes sometimes. Yeah. We've gone long. We've gone short. Are you? Hey.
Hi.
Okay, well, I have notes here.
So we want to watch Stranger Things. Jordan has...
Yes, you do.
We do need to watch that. Julien really likes Peaky Blinders, and I'm not as into it. Have you seen it, Jordan?
No, I've never seen that, but I know that it's a popular show on Netflix.
Yeah, you love it, Jules?
Yeah, it's great, but apparently... Oh, oops. It's... Yeah,
I can appreciate that. It's what happened. Yeah.
I was gonna put Jordan on the screen because she's talking,
cute.
And it's the huge. I blown it up last episode.
Like I know that Peaky Blinders is a good show. I know that I can objectively say that, but I know you're gonna think it's crazy, but stop lighting your cigarettes and smoking. I don't know why, but it annoys me. I feel like he's forcing it, that actor. It's like, okay, we get it, you smoke. Does it have to be like smoke, 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 smoke nonstop?
Right.
It bugs me.
Really? The smoking bugs you?
Oh, it's just, I don't even want to say it to you because now it might bother you. It's just like, he smokes in it, Jordan. And it's like, I don't know. Does every scene have to, and it's this big elaborate thing. It's not that he's just having a puff. It's like he does this slidey thing. Like, I don't know. His acting annoys me because it's like he's got all these affectations to like, I am this guy. And I get why he does that because it's so effective and everything. But with him, I just find it so obvious. He's like, I'm this guy who does this thing with his cigarette every time he puts it in his mouth. And I don't know. He bugs me. He bugs me.
I completely disagree. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
He is, but it's every time with the sliding in his mouth with the cigarette. And
that's the reason you don't like the show, because the guy slides his filter of a cigarette on his lips.
It's not just that. It's other reasons.
That's a weird reason to...
Well, stop smoking. Like, I don't know. It just... it drives me crazy. And then... The
amazing acting, the plot lines, the great storytelling, the arc, nothing. It's the smoking
that's what I said. I acknowledge objectively that I know it's a very good show. I hate it when people are like, it's a shit show. It's like, it's not a shit show. You know what I mean? Or it's a shit band. Like, we used to have a roommate that was like, the Beatles suck. You can't say that. Like, you might not enjoy the Beatles, but you can say the Beatles suck. You can't. Right. They objectively are amazing. They're incredible. You can't. And so I know that it's a good show, but I'm just not into it. I don't know. It bugs me. And it bugs me too, that brother being drunk all the time, all off his head on heroin. I'm like, I don't know. It irritates me. The show irritates me.
Yeah, weird. It's really, and the reasons you're giving are bizarre.
I know.
But I mean, teach their own. But I love it.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't even smoke in real. If you see these people in real life, you realize how good of an actor. No matter how many times he slides a cigarette across his lips, he's a phenomenal actor when you see him in real life.
Good.
And he doesn't actually smoke in real life. Those are herbal cigarettes. I read an interview about him, or with him, and he said, like, for recording the first season, he smoked about. And the seasons are short, only about 6 episodes, because he smoked about 500 cigarettes while shooting.
Ugh.
And even if they're herbal and you don't have like nicotine and tobacco,
it's not good for you.
No, it bogs you down. You're still inhaling hot smoke and those delicate pink lungs.
That's terrible. And that bugs me. Jordan, do you know what I mean by like, something's good, but it annoys you?
Sort of. I think I'd have to watch it to see what you mean.
Like, not even specifically that show, but it could be something that you can objectively say, I know this is very good, and I can see why people like it, but I don't like it.
The laugh.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And is it the violence? Because it's pretty violent. Is it that? Because you say it's a guy show. What is making it a guy show? Is it
I shouldn't say that
the
because
smoking.
I shouldn't say that because I'm going to get canceled. Just kidding. But I feel like it's not a... I don't know. I was just trying to figure out, because you and I like almost everything. Like, we have very similar tastes. And that's great, because we always enjoy the same thing. But that show, I don't know what it is.
And you got me into that show. It was your idea.
I know. I don't know.
And
what
you
to
liked
say.
it. I felt like we binged watched the whole thing. Something happened. Something popped.
I find it too depressing or something. It's such a dark show that it's like there's no... I don't like the characters enough, probably. Because if you think about Ozark is like this dark show. But because I really like the characters...
Right.
I like the show. But I find... And they do add some levity and some brightness. But in Peaky Blinders, it's just constantly dark. Like literally dark. And all foggy. I don't know. It's like... It just feels purposely trying to be cinematically dramatic or something. And that actor, I know he's really good. I know it.
Right.
And I know the show's very good, but I don't know. Just some things bug me.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I want to like it, but I find myself... Do you know when you're trying to like something and then all of a sudden you're wandering and like just looking around the room? I'm like, oh yeah, watch the show. I don't know.
I know. Well,
Maybe stop watching it, Jenny. You clearly hate it.
Well,
Yeah.
I told him last night. I finally just buckled and I was like, I don't like this show.
Well,
If you want something uplifting, I watched a movie called Hustle last night. With Adam Sandler in it. It just got released on Netflix and it's so good.
Oh, good. Okay.
oh, yeah.
Love it.
Hustle.
Hustle. Okay. I'm on board.
I accidentally deleted everything here and I can't see my notes.
Well, I have a daily dose if you want.
Sure. Let's get
Because we're already at 10:32.
Okay. Wow.
Daily dose, daily dose.
Snap.
Get the news from coast to coast. Daily dose, daily dose. All your news from coast to
All the
coast.
news and headlines from Jen Grant.
And here's your daily dose for Wednesday, June 22nd.
It's so hard for me to
It's almost
dance after
When
technical
you're mad?
issues. Yeah, I'm shaking it slowly, but
Just
it's
dance like
so hard not to let it get to me. But I have to
I know.
let it go.
Ain't that life, eh?
Release. And I always hate these episodes when something happens like that off the top and then I'm grouchy the whole way through because it's just like so annoying to listen to.
Well, maybe you can. Maybe it's a good time to have a guest because then I'm sure she seems like a very positive person and we can distract ourselves with that.
I'm fine. There's no need to distract.
Hey.
It sounds dramatic, but I'm just expressing.
Here's another thing to brighten your mood. Tomorrow, it's 1 month to our wedding.
Whoa.
That scares the poop out of me. Not that I'm scared to get married. There's just so many deets.
Yeah.
So many deets. Jordan, can you believe it? It's 1 month away tomorrow.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Yeah, cray.
It's going to be so much fun.
And I can't
And I
wait
was
to get down there. There's so much to do between now and then.
Like when we first planned it, I thought, oh, July 23rd, it's going to be really hot. And I'm like, that's only a month away. Is it going to be that hot?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. July
Right now-
23rd?
That's like peak
Peak
heat.
summer. Yeah.
I know.
Peak
God
heat or Pete.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, sorry to start with a downer, but the inflation rate has skyrocketed to its highest level in almost 40 years. Last month. Isn't that crazy? 40 years.
Yeah.
And it's fueled by soaring gas prices. Also, I'm sure we've all noticed that food costs have gone up by almost 10% compared to a year ago. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm noticing it. I never noticed it before when things would go up or whatever. You never look at it because you go, it's a necessity. So why am I gonna bother getting upset over things? I never like really paid attention to that kind of stuff. And now it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, but it is. You can't help but. Like, you can't go to Montreal for under $140.
Yeah.
So I'm like I said the other day, I'm
That's
actually
crazy.
turning down gigs because I'm like, no, I'm not.
Can't justify it.
It's so crazy. And
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll
no.
finish this later. But here's the thing. This is such a tired thing in comedy that I'm sick of hearing about and talking about, but it's so frustrating to keep living it over and over. How, like, it's the same or worse fees than ever before, than in the 90s and 80s and early 2000s, but everything is so much more expensive. I got approached to host a show in Ottawa, and this drives me fucking berserk. It's like, hey, we'd love to have you on. It's a new show. This venue, our first date post-pandemic is July 6th. We'd love you to host. $20. It's like, are
No.
you fucking kidding me? $20, and the excuse was, we're just some guys. We're not a club or anything, so we don't have a budget. It's like, well, get a budget. And then I
And
talked.
don't bother paying.
I
Like, at
told the guy,
$20?
I'm gonna talk to him this afternoon. Just give pointers on how to not do this kind of shit anymore, because I'm like, give me a call. Gave my number. He's like, okay. Well, I go, what? I mean, that is insultingly, exceptionally low. Especially to host. You're there all night. You can't just go do a spot and leave. You got to stay all night, up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's like $20 and a free drink. And then the guy goes, very nice and everything. It's just people that produce shows know nothing about the industry. And so this guy goes, a very nice guy and everything. And I appreciated him reaching out. And he goes, well, like for us, it's just a matter of getting quality stage time for ourselves because we put ourselves up every week.
Yeah.
And so he's like, so we have stage time for us. It's like, okay, yes, you're a brand new comic, produce a room so you can get stage time. But if you're then going to extend that to comics that make a living doing this, there aren't many that don't have day jobs. But you want, Rick Curry's doing it. He's closing it out for $20, and it's like he's one of the best headliners and writers with 30 years experience, and he's doing because people will just do it. That's the other thing. And so here's the conundrum. So you go,
he might want to work on some material or whatever.
Still $20.
Yeah.
So the guy goes, look, we just want to do this for us to be able to get on stage. And it's like, okay, yes, but then you're extending the invitation to people that don't need to just get up on stage for the sake of getting up on stage. So it's like, you know what I mean? There's a disparity, like a huge gap between I just want good quality stage time, but I'm also going to get a headliner that's a 30-year veteran to do time, hoping that he wants the same thing, just stage time. It's like, I don't know.
No,
I don't know
I
if I'm
agree.
articulating it well, but it's like
but I think
you're putting our expectations or our needs on the same thing where you go, well, it's just quality stage time. It's like, is it even that quality stage time at a pub? Is it? And also $20. So then the guy said, look, we charge only $5 at the door. And this is what we do. We pay this much for advertising. So it leaves us like $20, $5 for spots. Don't give anything. $5 for a spot. I mean, what are we doing? And then he goes, but here's the first thing. You're not charging enough. $5 to see Rick Curry work out material. It's not enough.
But don't you think, and I'm not talking specifically about any particular performer, but don't you think like what you're doing is important, saying no? You know what I mean?
It goes in one ear, out the other. No.
Yeah, I know, but don't do the spot.
And I know, but this is the thing. This is the conundrum. So you go, okay, it's insulting. I don't even want to do that for $20. I rather zero for some reason. I don't know why that's better, but
it is.
And so it's like, okay, well, do I turn it down and never do these gigs and then never do gigs in Ottawa and out of sight, out of mind? People never think of you. It's not personal, but if you're not around,
who are the people though?
Well, there are other shows. It leads to like
that's one of the things about like I don't like living in big cities, but that's one of the things about living in a smaller city.
What
is there's going to be that kind of a industry. There's not much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I'll see other shows that are like within the scene that are produced at better venues and offer money, and then they book comics that are just around all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they just won't think of you if you're not, because you never do those cheap gigs, so you're just not around. So it's like, okay,
you're around though. You do the clubs and stuff.
Well, that's it. But there's so much more that goes on. That's it. I just do Absolute pretty much in Ottawa. Like there's nothing else I do. So it's like, okay, do you do it just so people remember that you're around and that you can get other things, or you just say no, never do those gigs, and then not feel part of the community? Like I don't feel like I'm an Ottawa comic. And when people list Ottawa comics to book for shows, my name probably doesn't come up because I'm just not around, even though I live here and I'm a headliner and I work here. So it's like, okay, do you just do it as a night out to hang out, see Rick, just be seen, just so other comics and people in the scene know, oh yeah, there's a really good comic that lives here that we forget about? Or do you just never do those gigs and then just always fly under the radar?
Maybe just do spots, I guess.
For $5?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it's just so frustrating.
I know that there's ways to do it right, but we both know how hard it is to produce a room. Like, I don't know. It's like a little magic happens at certain places and it works really well. Like the Urban Well in Vancouver. I know that was a while ago. But
well, then get sponsors or something, or the venue to
but they don't know.
Kick money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, these comics, these quote-unquote comics that produce these shows have good day jobs. Like this, they have really good, they're successful, and they want to try comedy, so they dip their toes, but then they do this kind of stuff where it's like $20 to host when it's what you do for a living, and
then
when you're a good host, I don't know. It's just like,
and then the bars like judge the comedy show too. Like if I look back at when I was a brand new comedian, I would not know what the hell I was doing in comedy or producing a show. So double whammy. So then you go to this bar and you say, "Do you want to do a comedy show?" And they're thinking, "Well, yeah," because they're thinking like these are experienced comedians. And I think about when I was, it wouldn't necessarily be a good show. You know what I mean? Because you're not good at comedy yet, and you don't know how to produce a show. Anyways, Rebecca's coming on in a few minutes, and
go ahead.
I'm in the middle of my
Sorry.
DD. No, it's okay. So, hey, just a quick little. I love this story because I feel bad for these people, but they did end up getting. Anyways, I won't jump to the end of it, but if you get a bank card or a credit card stolen, banks make you, or not make you, but you absolutely, the best thing to do is to call the bank and report it stolen or lost within the first 24 hours. And the reason for that is because if someone was able to successfully get money out of your bank account through using your card, if it's after the 24 hours, they won't cover the cost of that. This happened to a student. Yeah, this happened to a student named Frances Ward. She lives in Pickering. She had a bank card her mom had opened her account when she was younger, and she just kind of always had the card. And then because of paying with phones, she lost the card, but she didn't even know because she always used her phone to pay for things. Anyway, somebody had taken her card and somehow written fake checks. So written fake checks and deposited it into the account and then withdraw the money. I don't know how that would have been possible, but she ended up losing $14,000, which I don't understand how that could even happen. But they deposited $2,000 the first check, and the mother said that it went into overdraft, and there's not even overdraft protection, and the bank didn't flag it. Like, the bank should have done something and said, why did this go? Anyway, this person was able to somehow get out $14,000 out of her account, and they told her she was responsible for paying it back. CTV got involved and helped them, and then the RBC had said, don't worry about it, we're going to pay for...
Well, it's crazy that they only have a day buffer, otherwise it's on you. That seems...
I know. And I have another story, but I'm going to wait for Monday to do it because it's...
Yep.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. It's your
Daily Dose. Daily Dose. Get the news from coast to coast. Daily Dose. Daily Dose. All your news from coast to
All
coast.
the news and headlines from Jen Grant.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that bad paying comedy gig thing, it just drives me nuts, and it's like it's not going away or improving. Mm-hmm. It's
right.
So frustrating.
You know, I have to say though that it is frustrating, but I think there are evolutions and growth patterns within everyone's career. So I think that sometimes when you've done it longer, you're not going to be known in that scene, but it doesn't mean you're not known. Like, for instance, you know, someone like Steve Patterson, he's so good. Hosts the debaters, amazing. But like, I've noticed throughout his career, and he's talked to me about it before, like just briefly, you know, like nothing. But I noticed, and I learned from him because he doesn't necessarily do all the... Oh, we've got our guest here.
Well, it's okay. Finish that thought.
Well, he doesn't always do all of the things that he would have done when he first started. But now that he's in a different stage, you know what I mean? He doesn't necessarily do all the clubs all the time and stuff like that. But anyway.
Yeah.
I think our guest is here.
Yep.
So
All right. So we will admit her into the meeting. Very excited to have our next guest on. Let me just make sure everything is on here. Can I change the view, the speaker view? How do I pin something? All right. You'd think we'd had figured out Zoom 2 years in. Oh, and for some reason your camera's sideways. I don't know if it's maybe your... Maybe it's locked.
Is this
That's good.
Yeah, that works.
Is that better?
That's
Yeah.
great.
All right. So, without further ado, very excited to have her on. Nutrition and fitness expert, all the way from out east, from Moncton. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Rebecca Hebert on the show. Yeah, you get a round of applause.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, and sorry for being a little bit late. We ran into some technical issues this morning, but here we are.
No worries at all.
As we do. So, Rebecca, how do you pronounce your last name? You're Anglophone, right?
I'm English, but it is a French last name, but I pronounce it Hebert.
Okay.
But in French, it's Hebert.
Okay. That's what Julien was saying, and I was saying Hebert. So that's not right.
Well, it's not wrong, but it's, yeah.
Okay. So I just want all of our listeners and viewers that are watching live right now to know that I found Rebecca because she was recommended to me through a friend. And so I started following you on Instagram, and I was quickly impressed with your consistency, with your posting. I would like to be more like that. I see that and I think, oh my gosh, this person is professional. She represents herself so strong on social media, and it makes you want to work with you because you're so good at it. So
Thank you.
absolutely. And I have worked with other people in the past, and I feel like when you see someone that strong on social media, it says a lot about their business. So I was inspired to talk to you because I'm inspired by people who have lots of followers, have been able to sustain that. And so my first question is, how did you start off really small, and how did you get to where you are now? How don't you, is that specific enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. So basically, I've been in the fitness world for like 10 years. So since I started in the fitness world, I've always posted my food and like what I was doing for workouts. And it's always been something I've really been consistent with. And so all of those years up until 3 years ago, I wasn't certified in anything, but people were always like, you should coach me, or like, you should do something like more professional. But I was a registered massage therapist back then. So now that I'm registered as I'm certified as an online, like as a nutritionist and personal trainer, I'm able to help people, but I'm more consistent with it because it is my only income right now. So because it's my income, I'm putting 100% of my energy into this specifically. So it's gradually gotten to what it is now.
Okay.
Over like the last 10 years.
So when you started, when did you see a bump? Did you see like a ton more followers because you started doing it full time and it was your only income, or what do you feel like?
I would say it's like because I started posting recipes and the workouts, that really boosted my following.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Do you find as it grows, you get because as you have more admirers, you're also going to have more haters out there. And do you find, because it's just a numbers game, no matter what, but the larger your following grows, the larger that small percentage of people that will criticize everything you do and think they are experts. Do you get a lot of that?
I did in the first year, like that I was an online coach and I was talking about it. I did get some hate, but it's really like I don't get that like at all anymore. I think people are just maybe just leave me alone now, but it's very rare that I'll get like a hate message.
And when you have a lot of followers like that, like it becomes, obviously you said you do it full time and everything, and it becomes so time consuming. Each post, you break it down, takes a certain amount of time to upload, edit, and all this. Are you able to split your time on social media so that you don't get down rabbit holes or start scrolling mindlessly? Or like how do you go from this is work to I've just spent an hour and a half on TikTok?
Exactly.
I do that. I definitely do that. But so I write a list for the week, like what I need to do each day. So I put Monday, okay, these 10 things I have to do. So I make sure to get those 10 things done. And then if I have extra time, then I'll scroll aimlessly on TikTok. But if I'm on TikTok for an hour, I actually get a lot of inspiration for videos that I want to recreate. So I find like when I do scroll, it's not really like, I don't feel like it's like wasted time. I really think it's like it's adding to my business because then I'm seeing what other people are doing and things I can improve on. So there is times though that I'm like, okay, I've spent way too much time on TikTok. Like I should probably just take a break and read a book or something.
So you have good self-discipline. You have good self-discipline.
Yeah, I feel like I have to because I could easily just, I don't know, like, cause I work for myself, so I could easily just go take off to the beach for the whole day and just not make any videos or not get any content. But I go to the beach knowing I have to get content. I have to get videos. I have to show people what I'm doing, but it's so natural for me. Like I really enjoy doing it.
That's amazing. And I love hearing about businesses that happen organically like that. Like everybody was telling you, it's like the universe was working through people telling you, you know, you should be doing this. Like, why don't you do this? Like here you are, you're a massage therapist, which is a great job too. And kind of within the same field, right? But but people are telling you, you're really good at this and you should do this. And then you also like it. And it's just like this perfect marriage. And like, yeah, of course, it's what you should have been doing and all along. So that's amazing. And just so for listeners and viewers, like I've who have never experienced working with a coach in any way, like I've worked with business coaches and I've also worked with someone like yourself who comes up with a meal plan and caters it to your specific goals and fitness, routines. Programs as well. And so I also want to mention that you have something coming up in the summer. It's a summer challenge. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I've been doing these challenges for the last 3 years since I've been certified, and they're either 6 or 8 weeks long. And it's a program that's 100% personalized to that person. So say you're coming to me and you're like, okay, I really want to gain muscle and I want to grow my legs, but I want my waist to get smaller. I will customize your program so that you're eating enough to fuel your workouts, but you're still able to get the results that you're looking for. So the thing with these challenges, like they're so successful is because it's a new meal plan each week. So you're not going to get bored with what you're eating, and it's 100% customized. So if you don't like a certain food, or if you're like you have a gluten intolerance, or if you don't eat meat at all, you're not going to have to eat that because it's 100% customized. So you're only eating foods that you'll really, really enjoy. And I make the meal plans so that it's kind of like based around the time of year. So with this summer shred that I'm having, it's going to be a lot of like barbecued foods. It's going to be like really summery things like fresh fruit for breakfast and like things like that. So it's not going to be hours and hours of meal prepping. It's going to be very simple and it's going to be really effective for your goals.
Tell me about if my summer meal plan sounds good. 13 hot dogs for dinner.
One. You can have one. One or two.
I'm fascinated the way you do these challenges and so on, and it's kind of a way to get people engaged. And how would you find that your business has evolved in the last 10 years with social media? Meaning, I'm obsessed with social media, how it's revolutionized industries and so on. Like 10 years ago, to find clients, you would have had to maybe associate yourself with a gym and kind of go that route. And so how do you find it's changed your industry or evolved and made it better?
Well, I'm able to talk to so many people at once. Like people are always like, why don't you go work in a gym and do personal training? But I am more successful talking to people and making videos and doing it this way because I'm reaching so many more people. And when people message me on Instagram, I write everybody back. So that's one thing that I notice with other people. They don't write everybody back, but I really want to make connections with as many people as possible. So whenever they're like, oh, like I should do a meal plan, they're like, oh yeah, Rebecca Hebert, like she's the one that I've been seeing all the time. So I find social media is just like, it's putting me out there. And the more I post, the more people will know who I am. So But I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but TikTok has helped my business like crazy. Like I've been on it for a month and a half and I've gained like 2,000 followers on Instagram.
And do you find
So-
that
Oh yeah, you found some crossover like that. You got that many new Instagram
wow.
followers. That's great.
Yeah.
it's amazing. And do you find that also translates into people wanting to work with you? Like, do you find that it takes a little bit of time? They say it takes like, on average people to see posts 10 times at least before they actually decide to maybe consider working with you or buying a product. Do you notice that takes a bit of time?
For Instagram, yes, but on TikTok, because it's so fast, if they find me on TikTok, they're already looking through probably like 15 of my videos, and then they go follow me on Instagram, and then they buy like instantly. I've had that happen. Like I've been on there a month and a half, and I've already had like many sales from TikTok.
Are you scared to
From
get
clients.
too much business? And at that time, would you then delegate or hire people? Like,
Yeah, I'm not like I could. Like I feel like I could definitely take on more, and yeah, at that point I would just hire somebody else that's certified and and has the same like goals as me and like wants the same things for clients.
right. And can you tell us the price of your summer challenge, just so people understand? When you say it's 6 or 8 weeks, does that mean the client chooses what they want, 6 or 8 weeks?
Oh, so it's so I do about 6 of these a year. So sometimes they're 8 weeks and sometimes they're 6 weeks. So this time it's a 6-week challenge, and it's $200 plus tax. So normally I charge $225 for this, but I really want to help as many people as possible. So that's why I cut the price down a little bit. So it's 200 plus tax.
That's admirable because prices are going up everywhere. So that's good that you're doing.
Do you find
less.
Because we use social media for our business, I feel like both of us could probably do a better job at it. But in your industry, is there a fine line between content and promo? Like in our business, if you lean towards too many promo, people just check out and they don't really pay attention. So you have to like integrate captivating content in that. And then once there's a ratio, there's like a magic number of like content post versus promo. How do you deal with that?
So I used to deal with way more people when it came to promoting them, but I noticed that it wasn't really coming naturally to me. So I have a very small number now that I deal with. Like, for example, Flourish Pancakes is one of the people that I promote, and they're like, I'm an ambassador for them, but it's something that I eat often. I use it in my recipes all the time. So like, I find like if you're going to promote something, or if you're going to if you're going to talk about a product, it has to be something that you're using, or it's something that you're passionate about. But if you're just taking on anybody that wants to give you free stuff, then that's not good. And people I don't think they'll like that, and they won't trust you, and they won't ever want to buy anything from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is a fine relationship with followers. That if you cross over to too many promo, but yeah, you're right. If it's something that you're using and can just mention it in your daily content, I mean, that's kind of the best.
Yeah, and I find Rebecca, like, I genuinely want to click on her stories because she often has, like she said, when she did the recipes and the exercise, if you think about it, from an audience point of view, that's useful for me because then I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like to try that workout, or, oh, this recipe actually looks really good. So it's valuable content for people watching. And then the other thing I wanted to say was with the summer challenge, so I'm interested in, I'd like to work with you at some point. And when I've worked with people in the past, what I like the most is out of everything, there's a lot of things I like, but one of the things that really I love is the accountability and being able to check in with someone because then it makes me feel like I have a goal, B, somebody's actually going to acknowledge it and get back to me. And then I feel good. I feel like I've achieved something. But if it's just kind of me, like it's still good to have your own goals. And if you're not working with someone, still be accountable to yourself. But there's something about checking in with someone that's so powerful.
Yeah, that's something that I find that helps my clients. But because when they check in each week, they ask me as many questions as they want, but they don't only have to talk to me then. Like they can message me anytime with questions. So a lot of the time, like why like the summer challenge, people are like, it's summertime. I don't want to go on a diet right now. It's not the right time. But then I'm like, okay, this isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. So if you are following this program and you're like, okay, tonight I'm going to a restaurant. What should I eat? I'm going to write you back right away. And I'm going to tell you, okay, this is what I think you should eat. This is how you should go about it, and enjoy yourself. Because that's lifestyle. Like, that's how you need to live your life. You can't just go on diets and be too restrictive, or else it's just not going to work. You're going to do this for 6 weeks. And then if you're too restrictive, then you're done, and then you could gain all the weight back. So it's all about, like, I find just making this a lifestyle, but those check-ins are like key. Like, I find that a lot of people, they do this 6-week challenge and then they become a monthly member because they don't want to go without those weekly check-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who they know intellectually they should be working out, they really want to, but they make up all these excuses, maybe time, or I don't know, they don't have... Yeah, the big one is I don't have enough time, but some people have great intentions. They know they should be working out and eating
how
properly.
You're saying, it sounds like you're saying that about you. You're like, some people, a friend of mine, somebody I know.
Yeah. Some podcast hosts really feel like they should be working out more. Do you have any advice to just kind of get going?
So I find like it's just, don't overthink it. If you only have 20 minutes, go for a walk for 20 minutes, or because like I find like people really stress about working out, but just going for a walk is super effective. It's a good way to start. Yeah, it's just like,
just do it. Just start.
Just start, even like just doing a walk. Like, start by walking. But honestly, like, if somebody has to choose, like, they're like, I really want to eat healthy, but I don't have time to work out. That's okay. Really get your nutrition like under control. And then after that, I find like when you're eating right, your body is like, okay, like, I want to move because I have so much more energy now. And then you'll find more time in your day to exercise because you'll have more energy to do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. What's your philosophy on cheat meals or cheat days?
So I don't really like that word because I don't have cheat meals. Like, I haven't had a cheat meal because I did a fitness competition like back in the day. And that's the last time I did cheat meals. And it's so like, it's just like a bad term because people are like, okay, I'm going to eat really, really, really good all week. And then I'm going to have this big cheat meal. And then they're going to feel really gross after. And like, it's just like, it's not, I find like it's like a bad way of thinking because then you think that way all the time. But like how I like to do it is like, okay, so like you're going to eat really, really, you're going to stick to your meal plan. And then if you're like, okay, I really want this food, say it's a burger, go and have your burger, but don't like overstuff yourself. Just like have your burger and maybe have like a salad with it. And then the next day go on with your normal routine. Like don't like feel guilty. Like don't restrict your eating the next day. Just get right back on track. So just like whenever you have those like cravings, like satisfy it maybe in like a healthier way. But like a cheat meal, I find is just like, those are the times like it's just like too much. Your body can't really handle. I don't know. I guess there's like different ways of looking at it, but
I get that.
Like,
I get that because you're almost like, and then you're thinking about that cheat meal too. Like it's like this, oh, I can't wait to have my cheat meal. Meanwhile, what I've noticed is when I was doing this meal plan, like yours is so diverse. You can see that you have all these different options to eat, so you never get bored. But one of the things that that's recently clicked for me, and I lost some weight, was eating more protein. When I eat more protein, I feel more satisfied, and then I don't feel as hungry. I find like preventing yourself from getting to the point where you're starving is important for me, because then, and I can't believe how long I feel full from a protein bar. Like it's shocking how full and satisfied I feel. I feel like satiated.
You don't do cheat meals either, right? I think The Rock popularized cheat meals because he will like post once a week, and he goes like over the top. You'll have like 9 burgers and sundaes and Skittles and chips and a big platter of food.
Like that.
he does that once a week and posts it all over Instagram, and people see it. And he's also The Rock, so he has access to like the best chefs and the best food ever. And he just, I wonder how much of that he actually eats when it's all in front of him. But
I eat off of what, like for instance, when I did the meal plan with someone else, like I would still eat stuff that wasn't on the meal plan, but I don't go crazy because I find like the better I eat, if I eat crappy, I feel really gross, like really gross. And I don't want to feel like that, kind of like what Rebecca just said. Now, I need to know this. So, Rebecca, you're very pretty and you're in such good shape, it's crazy. But you're not shy to post yourself on Instagram. And I'm like, I can't help it. Okay, so we're both comedians. And as a female comedian, when I would be on stage, I would feel a little self-conscious sometimes because for different reasons. Like we all have our challenges in our own industry, but did you go through a stage where you felt like, oh, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to post myself in a bikini and I'm going to be posting these exercises where I'm like, I'm doing squats and I'm really showing my body, but like you should be proud of your body. We all should be proud of our bodies. But did you go, I want an honest answer. Did you feel nervous about doing that? Like at first, did you get shy?
Not with that. Like I've always been comfortable because I've always been like showing like that my body's going through different stages. And like I've always, well, I guess like whenever I was done doing that competition, like it was very hard after because I was really, really lean. And then after that you rebound and you get like, you gain like a lot of like extra water and your body is just like going through something. Like after that, I was a little insecure to post stuff, but that was like 8 years ago. So that was like a huge turning point for me because like I learned how to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle without going extreme. So now like I look at my body and I'm like, I know I'm not as lean as I was then, but like I learned to love my body the way it is and like all the processes it's going to go through because in the winter months I eat more food and I fill out and I do get like I get thicker, I guess, in a way, like, but that's okay because that's a part of the process of what I'm trying to achieve. So I guess like in the winter months, like I look different than I do in the summer months. And like, I acknowledge that, but like, I'm okay with it and I'm happy with my body no matter what it looks like. So like for me, it was always like talking on the camera. Like that's what I was always shy of. And I still have moments where I'm a little bit shy, but when it comes to my body and pictures, like it doesn't affect me at all. Like when it comes to like being shy.
Well, like I was wondering specifically about getting unwanted attention too from certain people. Like, do you feel a little bit like
creeps?
Exactly. Like I'm wondering how many like
creeps
that you have to block on Instagram. Like I just.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of creeps out there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that most of these creeps do you think this is going to work.
Yeah.
Like that
I
approach. It's
Yeah.
like, first of all, have you looked into a mirror? And secondly, what's this? You think that someone is leading a normal life and then they're going to just go
Drop
in their DMs
everything. Yeah.
and then they're going to see a message just be like, hey, you're so fucking beautiful. How are you so beautiful? And you're just going to drop everything and be like, oh my God, my Prince Charming. Anyway,
I know. I don't know why. I think it's always the same people too, over and over again, that I do have to block people, but I don't know. I guess that's just a part of it. I just kind of like block it out now. I'm like, whatever.
Or they'll hit on you, and then when you don't reply or anything, then they turn on you. You go from like, be like, hey, you're so beautiful, and would love to get to know you. Then nothing, and then they'll attack you. Like they'll find something.
Do you mean in comments?
No, like messages.
Are
like
you getting these messages?
No, but I hear all the time. I mean, it's common knowledge. No, if I got those messages,
like they just don't leave you alone, and then they don't leave you alone, and I'm like, who's doing this to you?
no, because I've seen oftentimes women will post screenshots of like guys.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Look at this champion," and it'll be like,
Champion.
"Hey, girl, you're so beautiful," this and that, and then it'll be like, "Oh, your eyebrows are ugly anyway, you dumb bitch." And it's like, okay, so you just
eyebrows.
like they'll pick the most random thing.
Eyebrows.
And
God.
But no, if I got messages like that, I'd be like, oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the compliment.
No one's being blocked. There was another question that I didn't jot down.
Do you have a schedule, a social
yeah.
media schedule, meaning like, okay,
Yeah.
stories you'll post. Okay, like, do you break it down? Like, okay, I'll post a Facebook post at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, and then a story on Instagram at 2 p.m. because of certain algorithms and whatever, or do you just blindly kind of just post? And
For
how many
like
posts a day? Sorry.
For Instagram, I post at the same time every day. But I'm very strategic with what I post. Like I rotate like lifestyle stuff, workouts, recipes. So, and like, I want my Instagram to look a certain way. Like I want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So I'm very strategic with how I do that.
Right.
But with my Instagram story, I post just randomly, like everything I'm doing in the day. I try to like just include the followers so they know, okay, this is what she ate. This is where she's going. This is what she worked out. So that people can just like be a part of my life and like make them feel like they know what I'm doing. And that, so again, like whenever they're looking for a program, they know to come to me because like I'm living this lifestyle, and what I do in my life is what I want to teach everybody. I want everyone to know that they can go out to eat, they can go have drinks, and they can still have a really healthy lifestyle and be happy. So I post those randomly, and then TikTok, I post twice a day.
Okay.
Do you ever feel like taking a break? Do you ever feel like disconnecting for a few days, but at the same time you feel like you don't want to hurt your business? Or
I've never felt like that, but on Saturdays I do disconnect a bit. So like I'll post a little bit in the mornings on Saturday, but then usually like in the afternoons I disconnect. I just stop posting depending on the day, but like Saturdays is like my day off.
And how did you know to post that way? Like, did you just kind of instinctively feel that was right? Or did you consciously go out to learn about how to post versus doing the stories and having a strategy? Like, how did you know to have that strategy?
I've worked with marketers in the past.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot from them, but honestly, a lot of it's like me doing my own research, going and doing like looking at what other people are doing, watching YouTube videos. But I worked with a marketer for a couple of months, like just recently. So I learned a bit more about the strategy of Instagram and like when to post and things like that. So it really does help.
That's great. And I think that like you've heard this before, we've all heard this before, that you want to have a trainer that's fit and looks good, because if they don't look good, it's like, well, then if you're not applying this and you're like, walk the walk, you know? But it's not just that, it's knowing how to conduct your business too, and you clearly know how to do that, which is great. And that also makes you want to work with somebody. Like I just worked with someone who I know that they definitely know their stuff. Like there's zero question about that, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're good at their business, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're good at social media. And social media is part of our lives now. You just have to be good. You know, it's just part of it. And I've seen it in other people in other industries where I know that they're really good at what they do, but they don't represent themselves well on social media. So to have a whole package is pretty great. Like it's
unbelievable how many out of shape trainers there are.
I know.
At gyms, especially.
I know. It's like, do this, do that. I'm like, well, why should I? Did you do that? Because you don't look fit.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. They don't necessarily, like if you go to Good Life and you'll see that some of the trainers there, I think it's that they don't necessarily have that lifestyle, but they're in that job because they either have a background in kinesiology or whatever. But I've seen trainers I could not believe how out of shape.
They must feel weird too. Like,
oh yeah,
you can't feel confident. You can't feel like, oh, this is exactly how I want to live my life right now.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you give advice when you've got a gut? Like squat deeper.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's just because they took the training, they know what they're talking about. But I guess like if you're somebody that's looking for a trainer, you're probably going to choose the person that is walking the walk, like you said, rather than the person that just knows their stuff. You kind of need that whole package, like you said.
Yeah.
Do you find that because of social media? I mean, this is kind of an obvious question, but you can have clients from all over rather than just locally in Moncton or...
Yeah, so I've worked with people in the United States and I worked with people all over Canada.
And they just find you on social media sort of thing and like what you do and
Social media, but I've also met a lot of people. Like I travel quite a bit. So when I've traveled, I've met people and they follow me on Instagram. And then within like a couple of months, they're buying programs from me.
That's great. I love it. Well, I want to work with her. Yeah, and maybe because you would probably like to work with Rebecca too, right?
yes.
Yeah,
I just need to do something. But I think I've already started working with Rebecca. So far, she told me to just go for walks. And so that's going to be my first step. I'm going to be walking.
Mm-hmm.
Walking's a good first step. It's beautiful outside. And I find like going after supper when it's not too hot, it's like the perfect time.
Yeah, just doing something, eh?
Yeah.
Doing something. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, do you have like a system for your, like when people work with you, if they decide to go for the summer challenge, just to recap, there's Rebecca offers a summer challenge. It's $200. It's 6 weeks, 200 plus tax. Well worth the money. You're going to leave with all kinds of great recipes and knowledge about workouts. And I also like that you promote it in a way that is realistic for summer. You know that people want to have fun too. That's the thing. Like a lot of times when we think of being on a meal plan, we're like, oh, here we go. Like I can't just have freedom to do what I want. But you're also living a life, like because you're not going to stick to something that has no fun in it at all.
No.
So that's good.
Well,
That's
the
really good.
fun comes from seeing results and just feeling good and having energy and.
But being able to go to a barbecue and still be able to eat something.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And also, I see you having glasses of wine and stuff on your Instagram story. Like people need, to know that they can also live a life that's not just like water and chicken and broccoli and yeah.
Oh, exactly. No, I would never make somebody eat like that.
Yeah. And do you have a day that you get people to check in? Is there one day that does it? Like, do you get everybody to check in on one day?
Well, I have the monthly membership. They check in on Thursdays, and then the challenges they check in on Fridays.
Okay.
So I have two days of check-ins.
Okay.
What advice would you give, or how would you implement alcohol into your meal plans if people, because often people go from one extreme to the other.
People do that. Just
they'll go
general.
from drinking, quite frequently because it's around in their
Right.
industry to then when they start working out.
Individuals, yeah.
These individuals will just go the other way completely,
Certain
where they
members of
have
societies.
they have to cut everything off and go one extreme to the other. How would you integrate fun like that in your meal plans?
So it's like for me, like I've had clients that are like, I drink every day and I have sometimes like 5 drinks, and I'm like, okay, let's figure out how we can cut this down or how we can try to fix this. So like if they're drinking, I don't know, a beer, like 5 beer, I'm like, can you drink 3 instead? Or can you switch to light beer? Just like those small
You can
little
tell you're
tweaks
from
can
the
make-
Maritimes. You're like, I know that you have a 12-pack every day.
Would you
Can
consider
we try-
11?
That's such a Maritime. That's so funny. Would you consider 11? I know you usually drink Moose Green. Would you consider Moose Light?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, something like that. But if somebody's just like they drink on the weekends, I'm like, okay, well, what do you drink? And they're like, I always drink these Smirnoff Ice coolers. I'm like, okay, get some White Claws and only have like 3 or 4 instead of having like 4 of those Smirnoff Ice. So it's just like tweaking little things. And then I also I'll suggest things that they change within their meal plan that day to help them from going over their
Right.
goals for that day.
And some
love that.
people get really fit to justify or kind of offset their lifestyle. Like some people will not change as far as drinking every day, but they'll just go extra hard exercise-wise and physical activity and lifestyle.
Yeah, that doesn't usually work.
Oh, no?
No, like if you're gonna, I find like diet and like what you're putting into your body, if you're overdoing that and you're exercising extra hard, like it's usually not going to work. You have to have like a pretty decent, like what you're eating, what you're drinking is fueling your workout. So if you're not
Right.
eating and drinking good, you're not gonna heal properly from your workout. So then you can just like burn out, and
And the workouts are
things can
harder
happen.
too. The workouts are just straight up more difficult when you.
Yeah, and they don't have to be hard. Like they can be like a little bit hard. Like my workouts when I go to the gym, like I'm pushing to a point, but I'm not killing myself. And I don't tell my clients to really like push super hard. Like I'm like, do what you're comfortable with. And like when you're at say you're doing 10 reps and you're at the 10 reps and you can do more, then do more. But like I'm not telling them to like run sprints or like to do anything too extreme. Like I'm telling them, go for a walk outside, do 45 minutes of workouts like in your house or at the gym. So you don't have to work out just at the gym. But like for me, I'm always like, do what you can do and sustain. So it's not like extreme, because you're going to scare people away if you tell them, I want you to go to the gym 6 or 7 days a week and you have to do an hour and a half of weights. People are not going to, they're not going to be able to do it. So I'm like, okay, what can you do? And then that's basically how it works. But
I love it.
So step one, go for a walk and have 11 instead of 12 beer.
yes.
But because Bert Kreischer, big American comic, he's a huge party guy. I mean, he's got a gut and he drinks every day, but he runs marathons, and he's an extremely obviously for him, if he went sober or like just ate clean for a week and then ran a marathon, he'd probably find it so much easier. Imagine how sluggish and hard running
dehydrated
a
from
marathon
drinking that
when you're
much
drinking
and-
all the time. Yeah, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
does him. He's like athletic, but also
You know how
like a
old he
booze
is?
bat. I think he's 44.
Wow, it's even more impressive. Wow, that's crazy. I guess his body's just gotten used to it. Are we going to go to Patreon for a few minutes?
You know what? No, not
No?
today.
Not today?
No,
Okay.
because of the technical thing we had earlier. I don't want to, first of all, keep Rebecca longer than we have to, but also just in case I have to test something before we go. I don't want to have a repeat
Okay.
of off the top of the show. Our producer Jordan is on every day with us. Did you have any questions, Jordan?
Hi, Rebecca, by the way.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, do you think that COVID, not to bring up COVID, but do you think the pandemic helped you? I think a lot of industries suffered a lot, but in terms of like social media, do you think it helped the fitness industry?
It did for sure. So when that happened, I started doing the home workout videos, and that was something that people really appreciated because nobody could access a gym. So I was just in my spare bedroom with my yoga mat and some light weights and some resistance bands, and I made workout videos 3 times a week. So that really helped because people were like, okay, I could get a workout video that's just that, or a workout program that's just for home, and a meal plan, and I'm home anyway. So what better time to get in shape when I'm stuck home anyway? So it really did help me a lot.
And there's also a wave of like health, like people quitting drinking right now is a big one. I've found in the last 2 years during the pandemic, it's kind of trendy to not drink. And I mean, for whatever reasons people do it, if it's just because it's on brand or trendy, I mean, do it. But I've noticed that like a lot of microbreweries are coming up with non-alcoholic beer and so on. And that goes hand in hand, I think, with the fitness industry, because once people stop drinking, they want to replace it with something. So if they weren't before, they're going to start exercising and so on. But there's like, do you find that there's like a big health wave over the last couple of years?
Kind of. Like I did notice like a lot of people during the pandemic, like they were drinking excessively like every day because they were so bored, and they were just like, well, I have nothing else to look forward to. So a lot of people quit drinking because it became a problem during COVID. But
maybe I just hang around with a lot of degenerates, because I know a lot of people that have quit drinking over the last 2 years. But like a lot of comics are sober, and that's again it bleeds into fitness because they often replace it with something, and often it's exercise. But whatever reason people get there, just get there, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm inspired by you, Rebecca, and I feel like I'm envious of your industry and your business, because you get to see transformation, and that's one of the most exciting things for to see, like I used to like watching I like watching those makeover shows. I like seeing people change their lives. I like changing my life. I like to believe in the hope that you can change your life. I love that. I think that's like one of the best things. You know, I mean, what else is there? If you don't have hope, like, what are you going to do? And then people often just get stuck in their patterns, you know, myself included. I'm always working on myself. So to be able to see someone transform must be very, very rewarding.
It really is. Like at the end of these transformation challenges, I've got like a big group of people that finish, and it's overwhelming how amazing that they've done. And like the comments that they tell me, they're like, this is like, it's life changing for them. Like what this 6 or 8 week has done for them. And like, it makes me emotional because I'm like, it's something like that. I'm just like, I can't believe like I changed that person's life. And it's
so
just,
awesome.
it's the best feeling.
That's amazing.
And that's just it. It's because you're not in the business of diets or, you know, fad workout programs. It's a lifestyle. So you are actually changing their lives and implementing habits that they will, you know, hopefully have forever. So keep up the good work. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, that was
what am
weird.
I know that was really weird.
Good.
No, I got
Yeah.
got distracted for a second.
Keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. That was a really weird.
Rebecca's like, I wasn't going to, but now that you said that,
Oh, yeah,
I
no.
totally will.
Thank God you
no.
came on today, so
But,
you know to keep up the good work.
It was so nice talking to
keep up
you,
the good
and
work.
I'm definitely going to work with you. I just have to figure it out because we're getting married in a month. Very excited, and so
That's so exciting.
I know. So I'm torn between the summer program because it's starting a little bit later, or do I do it now and do the monthly? Ooh, this is.
You could even just do the basic meal plan. It's the same thing. You don't get the weekly check-ins, but it's 100% built for you. So like if you're like, okay, I don't eat these foods, or like, okay, I want to be able to have drinks on the weekend, it's still like it's 100% built for you. So that way you can use it until the wedding, and then after the wedding, it's up. I guess it just depends on your timeline, like what you have time to do. And
remind us again when the summer challenge starts.
it starts on July 11th.
July 11th. Okay.
July 11th. So you've got time, people out there, to join and do it.
I mean, I could even do that because that would be a good 2 weeks before-ish the wedding. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's all things to think about. I like check-ins, so I would go with the check-ins. I like that.
I love too. I love
Helps me.
barbecuing them. I love
Here we go. You like
check-ins or
you like
chickens?
The fingers, you like the wings,
the nuggets. Follow Rebecca Hebert Fitness on Instagram and TikTok.
Rebecca Hebert Fitness.
Rebecca Hebert. And yes, thanks so much for taking the time, and we'll have you on again. We really appreciate it, and
Yeah, there's lots to learn.
and keep your head up in the
Fun.
corners.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. We'll see you again soon.
See you on
Okay, see you
Instagram.
soon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
There she goes, everybody. Rebecca Hebert. That was great. Here, let's give studio audience. Oh shit! I accidentally closed Magoj. Let me just whoops. Let me just bring her back in. Okay. Can you just say something real quick, Jenny?
Sure can. Yeah, that was so nice, and I was excited to meet her because when you see someone on Instagram, you feel like it's that weird, like you feel like you kind of know them because you're
Yes.
seeing all their posts and everything, and she's so nice. And
I thought you were working with her.
No, I worked with someone else.
I thought it was her. Okay.
No, and then I got recommended her afterwards, and I would have worked with her if I had heard of her first, but I hadn't heard of her until afterwards. So I think I'd like to do that. I like the idea of the monthly membership. I think that's really cool. I mean, it's money well spent. It's your health. It's your health, and because it's not just about what you look like, it's also sticking to whatever helps you stick to your goals. And we don't have a gym membership we have to pay for. We've got workout stuff here, weights here. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Jordan back in, but it's so slow.
Oh, geez.
Well, it's no. I still have a couple things to do here before we sign off. So I'm just going to bring her in.
Oh, Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
No. I wasn't saying that.
No.
I had wanted to say to her to definitely barge in and ask questions with guests.
Yeah.
Anyways, follow her on Instagram. She's great, and we'll have her on again because she's very interesting, and there is a lot to learn. And there's only so much you can talk about in a half an hour. But we don't want to keep people too long,
Yeah.
Yeah, and working on getting guests all the time. So we'll see about next week. Working on getting someone for next Wednesday.
Go ahead.
Our episodes are recorded live.
Well, no more of the live.
Oh, we're not doing that.
No, we're going to record them and then we'll post them, but I'm not doing them live anymore.
So we release our episodes every Monday and Wednesday. And watch for that. Please subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and rate and review us. We would love it. Just take a couple minutes to get on there and tell us what you think. Only positive ones, please. Thank you. And yeah, so
I love watching you vamp.
Well, I don't know for how long. I don't know what I'm doing and for how long.
Just talk and I'll jump in when
how much longer?
We're done.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I sent Jordan the link, so she's going to be joining back in. We can just debrief there real quick. But before we do, let me do this. Oh, shit, man. Oof. This episode of the Julien and Dionne Show with Jen Grant is brought to you once again by KookiJar, spelled KOOKIJar.com. That's right. Head on over to KookiJar for a wide selection of top quality, premium cannabis storage solutions, accessories, and app. Yes, they have an app. You can rotate your stock and inventory and all that stuff. Head on over to KookiJar, spelled KOOKIJar.com. Enter promo code JDShow in all caps for 15% off and free shipping anywhere in Canada. The premise of it is basically, how you build yourself a booze bar. You'll have the glassware and the shakers and the long twisty spoon, and you'll have it displayed in beautiful lighting. Well, build yourself a bud bar. It's legal now. Do it. Have yourself a little corner at home where you can shelve all your flour, but instead of displaying those weird government containers, those unsightly official government-sanctioned containers, head on over to KookiJar. You get these beautiful, airtight, smell-proof, waterproof containers, bottles. They come with a 5-time magnifying lens designed right into the lid, so you can really display your flour. Head on over KookiJar.com. Again, promo code JDShow in all caps gets you 15% off and free shipping anywhere in Canada. They've got loads of products and grinders and accessories. They've got the on-the-go kit. It comes with a lockable and smell-proof pouch, a spring-loaded pocket size one-hitter. It comes with a bud pod where you can fit a gram of dry flour. It comes with a 1 1/4 sized hemp and filter rolling papers. It comes with the doob tube. Protect your doob with the doob tube. Waterproof, airtight. I mean, if you're into cannabis, just go to the website. Do me that solid. Just go shop and see what they have on there. Browse. And if you see something that tickles your fancy, once again, enter promo code JDShow in all caps and you get free shipping and 15% off and free shipping anywhere in Canada. KookiJar, you put your weed in it. There. Ajoj, Magoj. Sorry that you could have just barge in any time, by the way.
Well, I know, but I'm just some random person. I was waiting for the introduction.
No, sorry. I guess we
Oh
should.
no,
we
no,
should have
don't be
done
sorry.
that.
I just didn't want to like start talking and she'd be like, "Who is this?"
She'd be like, "What? Yeah."
But like, say we
Whoa.
did that. Say we dropped the ball, and we did that again, which I'm going to try really hard not to. You could just say, "Hi, I just want to ask a question. I'm Jordan, the producer." Oh yeah, sorry, this is Jordan, the producer. And
You didn't drop the ball at all. It's not a big deal at all.
Anyway, that was a good interview.
it was great.
All right. Do we have anything else to add?
No, I think we're good.
You're out of the shot there because your camera's or your mic is
No, I think we're good.
there. Okay. Well, join us. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new episode. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, follow, like, join, pay. We appreciate you. The Julien Dionne Show with Jen Grant coming at you 2 episodes a week. Mondays and Wednesdays, available everywhere you get your podcasts. So I think we'll record the shows. We won't stream them, and then we'll release the video. It'll be better quality. There'll be less guesswork. There'll be less fuckery about what can happen. You know what I mean?
I do.
All right, Jenny, I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks to Rebecca Hebert for popping on and giving us her wisdom in the health and fitness and nutrition world. Follow her, Rebecca Hebert Fitness. Joj Magoj, producer Jordan, thank you so much.
No problem.
Keep up the good work. That should have been the name of the episode today. Keep up the good work. You're out of the shot again. You're split right down the middle.
Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie.
I just see half your face. You're like this. Hey. Oh, shoot.
What?
Well, I forgot to do a thumbnail when she was on. Call her back. All right, everybody. We'll see you when we see you. We love you. And until then, watch your head. Okay, bye.
The landing is bitter, but the falling is oh so sweet. It's just a waste of time, a beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. The whole world wants a piece of my head, but they all get a piece of my mind instead. I roll over and go back to bed. It's such a beautiful waste of time. A waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time.